But you're willing to put yourself through that 4 years or longer if you're going for a higher degree, PhD, master, something to that effect, to get to the degree of what I'm showing you with technical science. You want to get a PhD in technical science through ICT, the College of ICT, the School of Hard Fucking Knocks, because that's what this is. We don't have campus fucking parties. We don't have keg parties. We don't throw TP over the fucking trees and get drunk. We take it serious around here. We are, if trading had colleges, I'm the Ivy fucking League of it. Okay, that's just the way it is. I produce winners. I produce people that give a fuck about themselves. And when they learn how to do this, their esteem is really high. Their self-worth, extremely high. And to weaker people around them, it seems like narcissism. It seems like arrogance. And that's just you reflecting your own insignificance because you beat yourself down. You let other people do that. They're holding you back. You're holding yourself back because you think toxic thoughts all the time. When I was going through agoraphobia in 2001, 2002, 2003, it was all based on the 9/11 attack. Like I was terrified. I had people that were not just me. I don't think I would have had this happen to me if I didn't have a wife and kid. If I didn't have that, I think I would have been like, well, yeah, I gotta be on keep my head on a swivel. It is what it is. But because I had family members that I brought into this world with my wife that are not capable of taking care of themselves, and I have a wife that doesn't look at the world the way she does today, but back then she just was like anything else. Back then we didn't have social media like we have it today. But she used to watch TV news all the time. Every time news would be on, she's watching it. And I'm like, do you realize that nothing good just came off that fucking television? And you want to constantly come back to it? And then you start doing 10 o'clock news. Because 6 o'clock and 5 o'clock news wasn't enough. Now we got to get 10 o'clock because we got to prep you for the 11 o'clock news. And it's always bad, toxic shit. So I was always listening to, in the background, the terror threat's been raised from yellow to orange. That's what they used to do back then. They constantly were priming us to live in fear, and it worked on me. That was the weakest time of my life where I was allowing these assholes to convince me that impending doom was going to happen at any moment. And I was being indoctrinated. I was being brainwashed, like most people back then. And we just watched it now. There's still people driving the fuck around with masks by themselves with their windows rolled up in their car. What the hell's going on? And that's exactly what I told everybody on Twitter, this very app, in 2019. Watch what they're getting ready to do. And here you go. And it ain't done. We're getting ready to hit the real show. And I would be out of my mind with anxiety if I hadn't learned what I'm about to teach you. Everybody has stress. Everybody has stress. That's part of life. Jesus said you're going to have tribulation in this world, but not everybody's going to go through great tribulation. What happens if you have a bad day in the market? What happens if you have a bad day at your job, or you have a falling out in your relationship and you have a trading account open with real money or a funded account or a funded account challenge open that you can trade and see results in? What happens if you have a bad day? What's the first thing you feel like you want to do? Men, I already know what you want to do. Ladies, maybe not so much this, but men, you want to push the button and fuck around and find out. You want to replace that, I just got canned at my job. I just got made redundant and let go. I just got a final written warning that if I do this or don't live up to this output and performance, I'm going to be given my walking papers and fired, terminated. You're stressed out now, rightfully so. But chances are you probably didn't do the things I'm talking about in this Twitter space here today that could have mitigated all that by taking initiative, being responsible, owning it, and working towards progressing and being better. Because if you journal like this, you're going to find that it starts bleeding into your personal life, not just in trading. You'll find that you'll interact with people in a much more favorable and professional manner. You'll talk differently, your vocabulary will increase, and it won't be quickly reached for toxic opinions. You'll look for reasons to talk about something good and positive because you realize the effect it has on you. So therefore, wow, I know if I talk to someone and I talk about all the positives that I can see in someone and say, hey, look, I see what you're doing. And I think that you are doing an amazing thing here. And I like how you did this. Have you ever considered this? And then you've encouraged them. You acknowledge what they did was right, and you encourage them. That's what goes on in our community. I don't see that happening in other people's community. I see a competitive, I got to be better, I got to stand out. I have a few of those in my group, and they're revealing themselves. I don't need to know what sex they are. I can tell what they are, the way they talk in their posts. They're toxic males. They want to be dominating, okay? And chances are they're probably being reckless in their trading. You can read a person very easily by watching what they put on social media. You can see their frailties, you can see their strengths, you can see how they think. And how they share their opinion about other people is a direct relationship to how they view themselves. Because they're projecting. Are you someone like that? Are you someone that's like that? You're always critical, talking about everybody else, because you're thinking that if you do that, it eases the pain because you're not in your journal telling yourself that this is an opportunity to improve upon. These are a frailty. These are a character flaw that I have at the moment. But here's how I'm going to fix it and work towards making it better or less impactful for the negative aspects. You're being responsible with yourself. You're cultivating a proper learning environment. You're removing all toxicity. You're not inviting all of the opinions of others, even if they are loved ones, even if they are your spouse. They're not going to see it the way you see it right now. Let them discover how much a success you really are when you get there quietly. Don't talk about it. Because if you're going to talk about it, you're using energy that could have been used to study. That's time that could have been used for studying and journaling. If it's good enough for you to say it before you live it, before you have it in your hands, if you're going to say it out loud, because you hear this people talking about, I'm going to manifest it. I'm going to speak it into existence. You're not God. Only one can do that. But you can self-talk and encourage yourself. But in trading, you do not do that in social circles. You don't do that. Don't do that. You channel that stuff right into your journal. And when you have a bad day, you have a toxic day, that's a day you don't trade. But that's not what you want to hear. ICT, I don't give a shit what you say. I need to feel good. You ever see the movie Monster Ball? Halle Berry, Billy Bob Thornton. There's a scene in there where she's lit and she's trying to basically be intimate because she just needs to feel good. And that's exactly what she says in the script. Come on, I want to feel good. She's crying. I want to feel good. That's exactly what all of you are doing inside. And you're hoping that trading, making money is going to fill that. I can tell you, it doesn't. It doesn't. Every successful, consistently profitable trader, if they're absolutely 100% honest, that's not where their sense of fulfillment comes from. It comes from the fact that they have a model that they trust, that they refined, that they worked towards, that they guarded, that they had faith in, that faith grew over time. And they journaled their progress and they refined it, where they are never tinkering with it. That means they're never trying to add something or take away something. They're content with that. And that is a sense of mindset that you can't put a price tag on that. Your job's not guaranteed you're going to be there 5 years from now. You're not guaranteed to be here tomorrow. Your profitable trade isn't guaranteed in your next transaction and you're clicking of the button. It's not guaranteed. But the folks that have a sound model that they've worked and refined, they don't obsess about that. They understand that every trade is a losing trade, that their skill set, that their faith-based model that they have groomed and they've isolated to, this is all I'm going to look for. This is all I'm worried about. This is the time I'm focusing on trading. I'm not in there all day long trading. Again, that's somebody that doesn't know what the fuck they're talking about. Okay, you're inviting the rate of failure exponentially. Get in there more than you should when you don't know what the hell you're doing. Wrong. Surgeons, doctors, they're specialists. Everybody that goes through med school are not proctologists. But in trading, everybody on social media is a fucking proctologist. They got their finger in everybody's ass sniffing, what did you have for lunch? They're in everybody's fucking business. Surgeons, they're brain surgeons, they're heart surgeons, they're orthopedic surgeons. They specialize. They went through the same schooling, but then branched off and said, this is what I'm doing. What did they do? What did they do? Do you think that they were fucking journaling and studying feet? If they're going to be a brain surgeon? They want to know everything about the foot and the anatomy, the nerve endings of a foot when they're studying the brain or the heart or any other, a gastric surgeon. No. They reduce their focus in on one specific task. Their model as a surgeon is that they have to know exactly how they're going to cut and engage the human body for the purposes of helping this particular part of the human body heal. The outcome is, if that trade, if we want to personify it that way, it's profitable if the patient is improved and gets to live longer and a more fulfilling life. And the ailment they came in to have addressed gets corrected by the surgeon's model being applied to that body. We don't go to a general practitioner when we need surgery. We may need to get it to initially get a recommendation, like here, I'm going to recommend you go to this surgeon here. But they're not doing the cutting. They're just doing a genuine evaluation. We don't need that here. As a trader, you're that. You're the CEO, you're the CFO. You're the person that gets fired when you blow the account. You're the person that has to do fundraising to start it up again. It's everything. You incorporated. That's what this is. And you're saying that you're not interested in journaling? When every corporate enterprise has some measure of doing that same KPI measurement. KPIs, they're performance measurements. How well you're performing. What's your output? What's the results of those output? And if you don't do that with yourself, the enterprise that you daydream about yourself being, this super rock star riding around in Lear jets, driving cars that are too expensive, oil change cost too much, and nobody gives a shit after 2 days of looking at it. Oh, yeah, who cares? You're expecting people to love you because you have something that they can't afford. How long do you think that lasts? It doesn't last long. Then there's animosity. So you're inviting the opposite. You're inviting it. You're inviting all the wrong things versus you don't ever wear your wealth on your sleeve. You're content with how you live a simple life. If anybody looks at me on the outside, they would never know that I live an affluent lifestyle. They would never know it. I don't want people, especially today, I don't want to be out in public wearing a $45,000 watch anymore. I don't want to do that. Get busted upside the head. I can't look at every minute around my surroundings. Someone's going to ask me a question. I'm going to do something. I'm going to reach for a door, and I'm going to get busted in the head, and the $40,000 watch is now theirs. But you see these 20-year-olds out there, and they're doing all this flashy stuff. And things are getting hard. And what are they doing? They're inviting the mindset that says, you know what? I can't get what you have. doing what you do. And then that pisses me off. So I'm going to find out where you are and take something off of you. You don't realize that, young man, but that's exactly what you're doing. In this world today, that's exactly what you're asking for. Driving around in cars, asking to get this shit lifted off of you. Because you want to look good. You want to measure your success based on other people's opinion and how often they mention you on social media. They're always talking about me, and it's stupid. It's uncomfortable. I don't like it. I just want to be like everybody else. That's all I want, and I can't be that anymore, and it bothers me. You want to believe that I love being looked up to and worshiped. I don't want to be worshiped. I just want people to say, hey, what's up, Michael? How you been? That's it. I don't want to be looked up at, and I won't let anybody look down. That's how I carry myself. I live my life just like that. And some of you are doing this, trying to refine your future self, so that way you can be some kind of character online, some kind of influencer, some kind of celebrity. And you might be. And you might do things differently. You might be a well-rounded, down-to-earth person. That'd be great. That'd be a very wholesome thing to see. I would be a fan of that. That's what I'm trying to cultivate. But don't let it get twisted. That same person is still going to have confidence through the fucking roof. And if they're honest and they're asked, hey, how do you feel about trading this? Do you ever have any anxiety about trading? No. No. There isn't a trading day out there that I can't walk out there and say, I'm going to take this and I'm leaving with it and you can't fucking stop me. Now think about that. That sounds unheard of, right? But I'm demonstrating that in live streams. I'm showing you where it's going to go to, and that's the beginning building blocks. But if you take these case studies where you simply watch price action, and you don't know in your present state, if you just began to learn how to do this stuff, you don't know where it's going. You're guessing at everything that's going on, and you're trying to apply an indicator or somebody else's logic while I'm talking about what price is going to do. And what I'm telling you it's doing it. And you're not retaining anything except for, I didn't get anything from this. When I see comments and I leave a post on my community post on my YouTube channel, I'll say, what did you learn in this live stream? I usually got about 3 or 4 people that say nothing. And I block them. I'll never see their comments again because that's a fucking idiot. Okay? If you ever left that, I want you to know I'm calling you an idiot. You're a fucking idiot because I'm laying down things that if you're paying attention, they repeat every day. So to me, you're a joke. Anybody that says that they're not getting anything from it simply is an idiot. Or you're just a hateful piece of shit that has all of this attention placed on what I'm teaching in our community, and it's overshadowing you. And you're just trying to poke and be vindictive. And it's sad. You don't need to do that stuff. You're not going to change me. You're not going to stop other people from wanting to learn this. The cat's out of the bag. It's a phenomenon now. It's global. And all I want to do is ask your permission collectively as a community is just let me step down like a CEO. I don't want to be the face. I just want to hey, look, I'm thankful that Michael released this stuff, but stop trying to make me a celebrity all the time. I don't want that. I do want to see who comes up out of all this, and I want to see them, whether they be male or female, to do it better than I did. That means don't have all these chest ups to other people. I do it for fun. I did it for marketing initially because it was all upside for me. I simply wanted to go out there and draw a crowd. So I knew either one, I would be entertained by it, or the social experiment that I started on Baby Pips was going to produce something.